All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we're doing today.
Really?
All right, guys. So you are getting a new section in your notes. Please title your notes 15.1. And while you're getting organized, kind of listen to what I'm saying because I have some announcements. All right. Announcement number 1 is that I am still grading your projects, which means they are not in TAC yet, or hack for y'all. Teacher for me, so it's TAC. Hack for y'all. Remember that is a major grade. If your name, your last name, is above the letter O, then I have already graded it, and you can access that grade in Canvas. You just won't see it in Home Access Center yet. All of your quizzes that you did for the zombie quiz, you know, where I gave you a picture of a graph and I asked you to title it and what all that stuff meant, that is graded also. It is not in Hack, it's in Canvas. You can log in and see that. Anytime your teacher does something, a grade in Canvas, you should always go back and check for this feedback. Some of you guys, there is feedback on there. Do your other teachers use Canvas?
Not really.
Not really. If your teachers do, or you know that I do, I would sign up to get a notification anytime one of my assignments are graded. So you can do that. So later on, if you want to figure out how to change those notifications, you can input to get a text when something's been graded in Canvas. Okay. So, multiplying polynomials. We've already added, we've already subtracted, so now we're going to multiply. Next week, we're going to divide. So, we are spending 3 days on multiplying polynomials, and on Friday, you're getting quizzed on this. In the grade book, by the way, y'all know this is the last week of this 6 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is the last week of this 6 weeks. I only have a total of 2 quiz grades right now. You're going to get 1 more on Friday, but I have to have 4. I don't feel like I've done a pop quiz this year. I don't think that's happened.
Please don't.
It's not going to happen today.
And she pulled out a quiz right now. Oh.
No, but you need to keep that in the back of your head. Somewhere, sometime this week, but not Friday,
Today's Friday.
you might have a pop quiz. I'm way too nice telling y'all that.
You are. That's why we love you.
What's it gonna be on? It's maybe I don't know.
It'll probably be on adding.
All right. So now that you know, you do have 2 quizzes coming up this week. Let's go ahead and talk about what it's going to cover. So you guys should have wrote down this is your first example. Please ignore that it says B. And you're going to do 3 different types of multiplication. You're going to do one that I call kind of elementary, a monomial times a monomial. Then you're going to do distributive properties. So this is coming back. And then we're going to talk about something called FOIL. And all of that will make total sense in a minute.
What type of FOIL?
So let's go ahead and take a look at this problem. This is a monomial times a monomial. So, and it is multiplication. We like multiplication because we can multiply in any order that we want. So this is just like 5 times 7 times x times y squared times a y. This should be a total review. Like I'm almost insulting your intelligence by actually going over this. What does that simplify to? That is correct. Are there any questions on that?
Is this the elementary one?
No.
Mm-hmm. This is great. We're on one. Okay. And try this. Please try that one. Whatever. I don't care about example numbers. It could be example 5028.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, goodness.
This one I'm
We do enough math where we have to remember enough. So we can go out of order. We don't have to remember the numbers.
First time Miss Harrington never says.
So, Gassan, what's the coefficient?
Coefficient -2 and -3.
Yeah.
6.
Very good. It is a positive 6. Good job. How many x's are there, Nelson? What? How many x's are there? Stop talking when I'm teaching. So how many x's are there? Very good. And then Nelson, how many y's?
2.
Very good. So can this be cleaned up or simplified in any way?
No.
All right, then that's going to be your final answer. Any questions on how to do this?
Is this distributed?
This is straight monomial times monomial, like baby elementary.
Yay.
Okay. Try this one. It does say elbow buddy, but really I'd like for you to do it on your own. So this is the very last time that I am talking about this concept. This is the last time this is going to be taught in class. From now on, it is my expectation and your expectation that you can do this efficiently and accurately with no mistakes. Go.
54
squared
is
to the
y
power
eight.
of 0 to the power of 5.
What?
Wait, say that.
Y8.
Can we please try that again? 1, 2, 3, go.
54x 11 y 8 z 5.
Yes, that is correct.
Wait,
Are
does
there
the
any
X have to
questions?
go first because it has more?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
He just asked a good question. Does the order matter? When there's more than one variable, it really doesn't.
Really?
But if it's all the same variable, then yes, it does matter. We're going to talk about that. Okay.
Wait, example 8.
So draw a line underneath that. This is distributive property. By the way, in your pencil bag, if you have a whole bunch of different kind of colors, let's get them out and use them.
Bet. I have those.
I have a pen.
What page? It's just in a bag.
A band.
TJ.
Colors.
No.
Is this the one that I donated to the bookstore?
No, I think this is the only one I have. You know, certain advisors can probably show. No way to look at it.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking to you. Make sure you're listening.
Hush.
So you want us to do this one now?
Now what we're going to do is we're going to do the second one, which is called the distributive property. Look in the parentheses. How many terms are in the parentheses?
3.
How many terms?
3.
3. So we're going to distribute 3 times. Go back and see if we can combine like terms and box in the answer. So we're going to distribute to the first term. Then we're going to distribute to the middle term. And then we're going to distribute to the last term. That's why they call it the distributive property. So for the first term, that is going to be 3x times 3x squared. So what's 3 times 3? 9. 3 times 3? 9. And then if there's an x here and 2 x's there, how many x's are total?
X to the power of 3.
Good. So that's the first term. Your second one is going to be 3x times a positive 6x. 18x. Great job. And then,
Negative 15x.
oh, it is squared. Thank you. It is squared on here. I forgot. Make sure you do that. Great job. And then, Gaston, what's the last one?
Negative 15x.
Negative 15x. Good. It doesn't matter. So, do they all have only one letter?
Yes.
Yes. Guys, this is standard form. It's all x's. You got the highest degree first. You have the second degree next, and then, of course, the lowest degree is on the end. This is your expectation, so this does have to be written in standard form. The other ones, it doesn't matter because there's more than one letter, but this is the expectation. You have to write it in standard form. Are there any questions on the distributive property? Okay. Well, try that one.
Oh, wow.
That's easy. If we don't write it in like
It will. Okay, so please remember all of the terms signs are going to change. Why?
there's a negative outside.
All right, good. How many terms are in here?
4.
4. How many times are you multiplying?
4.
All right, let's go. What's the first term?
Negative 2x5
To the fifth. You got it.
plus 12x cubed plus 10x squared minus 16x.
Wait, 10x what?
Squared. Minus 16x.
16x.
Are there any terms that can be combined? No. So we would box this in. This is the product.
Pencil.
Any questions on that?
Since do we only have to list them from the exponent or just the code?
From the exponent. Only when it's the same letter. And it already is like that. All right, so listen, y'all's homework problems is like 7, 8, 9, I don't know, 10 problems at the most. All of that's over this stuff. So your homework tonight is not reiteration on new stuff. It is practice on getting really quick at this stuff because we're crawling right now. Let's learn to walk. Write this down.
Is this the foil?
Do you draw a line?
Yeah, I would draw a line. I draw lines under all my examples. So all those colors that you have in your pencil bag, we're going to use them.
Okay, I understand this now.
I think Nelson said he donated it, which I appreciate.
Yes, I did.
I think you wanted it.
So is this
All right, guys. This is foil. So if you got 4 different colors, that is awesome. Let's use it.
Oh no, I need a fourth.
I used to have that like pretty bad. I don't know if I'm able to put it out.
There's another pencil sharpener right here too.
If that's going to put you behind, don't worry about it. Because this foiling is more important than sharp pencils. So make sure you got this. I have 2 pieces of verbal instruction, so listen up. Foiling is only when it's a binomial times a binomial. So when do we use FOIL?
Binomial.
Only when it looks like this. And then the second piece, I'll tell you in a moment. All right, so let's get started. Foiling is so self-explanatory. It's exactly what it is. F stands for first. You're just going to multiply the first two terms of each binomial. And then the outer are the two outside ones. So it's going to be 3x times 1. Inside, two inside ones. 4 times 2x. And then L last, the two last terms on each binomial. So, how many letters make up the word FOIL? 4. That's how many times you got to multiply. So the first term is going to be 3x times 2x. Bless you.
Oh, 6x.
So whatever color you wrote the word first with, I would use the same exact color when we multiply the two first terms together. What is 3x times 2x?
6x
squared.
6x squared.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, to the power squared.
And then the two outside terms, so it's going to be 3x times 1, which is, what's 3x times 1? 3x. And notice I changed colors. So if you take really good notes on this, you'll have foiling down, and y'all are going to be foiling for the rest of the year. So this is this is what they call a foundational skill in algebra. So we got to get really good at it.
That's cool.
All right. Next is inner. So that's just going to be a 4 times a 2x. What is that product? 8 what?
8x.
And then we're going to grab the two last terms. And that's just 4 times 1, which of course is what?
4.
All right. So the first piece of information, the verbal piece of information about foiling was, when is the only time you foil?
When it's a binomial times a binomial.
All right. Second piece of info. You kind of have a self-check. You know you did foiling right if the two middle terms can be combined.
Oh.
Can they be combined? Yes. Then we're on the right track. So if you got a highlighter, for the sake of your notes, I think it's a good idea just to kind of highlight, to kind of remember that those two terms should combine. All right, so when we recopy the simplified form, that 6x squared is not going anywhere. So how many x terms do we really have?
11.
11. We have 11 x's plus 4.
That's weird.
Turn on your calculator and dog beat it. I'm going to perform a magic trick.
I love magic.
I don't.
I gotta
I'm going
have
to
a
show
button.
you all that I'm really telepathic. I know this.
Or you can cheat.
Or you just repeated it 10 times.
Yeah.
No, I promise it's not, because I've done it all day. Guys, go ahead and go, after you dog beat it, go to a graphing, and then go ahead and put this in for f of 1. This right here. F of 1, please.
But shouldn't it be plus 5?
You're multiplying.
Oh, you did it wrong.
Whoa. That's really weird.
Sad.
It's a U.
Okay, you ready? Your graph made a U.
Yes.
Okay.
It did.
Wait, no.
Second thing I'm going to tell you about the graph. It crosses the x-axis twice. And it crosses the x-axis on the negative side of the x-axis.
Yes.
Twice.
So it's over there twice. All right. Next thing, I am going to predict. I'm going to telepathically look into your calculators and calculate where it crosses the x-axis. The x-intercepts, also known as the zeros. We have not talked about the word zeros in a while. Please remember that zeros are the same exact thing as the x-intercepts.
What's the 0?
I see your calculator, and I see the x-intercepts at a negative 1 1/3, and also a negative 1/2. Here's how I'd like for you to verify what I saw. You guys have already graphed this. Please hit Menu, Analyze Graph, and then what's option 1?
0.
You're going to have to do it twice, though, for each time it crosses the x-axis. Go check my telepathic ability.
How do we check it?
You go to Menu, Analyze Graph, and then select option 1. Yeah, you should take your hands out.
0. Wow. That's pretty.
This is red.
If it's tiny, remember you can go to Window and zoom in.
Yeah, because mine is a B.
0.33. You are correct.
It says 0. It's 1.33.
Did I perform my magic trick correctly?
Yes, but it's only because you've been doing it all day.
I promise you it's not because I've been doing it all day. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you why I know this. Did you get it?
No, I didn't get it.
Nelson, did you know how to find the zeros?
Oh yeah, I got it.
I mean, I didn't get the second one, I got the first one.
You know how to find the second one? Just move the cursor over.
That's what I did.
That's what I did, and it still gave me the first one. You have to do it again. That's what I did.
You have to move it past the first one entirely, though.
I did. Oh, there we go. It finally did.
So you were able to do it twice and get 2 different answers?
My third try.
Okay. Ugo, are you good? You want Nelson to help you?
That's fine.
All right.
Ooh, go.
While Nelson is helping, you guys look up here and I'll show you how I knew the magic trick. So the first one was a negative 1 1/3. What's 4 divided by 3? It's positive. I'll tell you why it's negative later.
I got both.
But 4 divided by 3 is 1 1/3. What is 1 divided by 2?
Half.
What kind of sorcery?
Now I can't give all my tricks away. I'll tell you why they're negative later. Will you please dot B your calculator? Nelson, we're dot Bing our calculators. After you have dot B'd your calculator, put the orange in exactly how it is with the parentheses and everything.
And the calculator, or the graph.
The orange, this 3x plus 4 times 2x plus 1. Put that exact same thing in.
Like in the graph thing?
Yeah, the graph. Maria.
Same thing.
It's the exact same thing.
You're going home.
I got the same thing.
Do you understand this, Mike?
It's the same thing, I think.
What?
I think this is the same thing.
Is it the same thing?
Yes.
It is the exact same thing. Okay, friends. Draw a line under that. Let's go back to our notes. Please try this. Look down here in your notes. I gave you the answer. That's the answer. Please make sure you can get it. So please copy this. Is this a binomial times a binomial?
Yes, if we use FOIL.
And how many letters are in FOIL?
4.
And that means...
Multiply by 4.
Okay, please try this. Go careful. Use your notes. Make it color-coded with all of those colors. And make sure you get this down here. If you want to do elementary, you can go back to elementary math. Bye. Bye, Donna. Have fun. You're going to miss us. You're going to miss us 6th period. You're going to wish you were here.
Really?
Wait, what are we doing?
Is it fun? Is it fun or not fun?
Maybe.
On the phonometer, what does it range?
I don't think.
Phonometer, what does it range?
So you multiply this one, and this all together.
Oh. Yeah.
The first term on that one.
2x
Okay, so
multiplied
this is how I write it.
negative 2x squared.
Multiply with these two.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just like, yeah.
Oh, outside. The two outside on the expression. So that's the furthest out and that's the furthest out.
I did it right. Can I get a drink of water?
Yes, that's your problem. Take the pass.
Good job.
It's 7.
Here we go. Alright, everybody take a look. So there's no talking right now. This is a negative 2x times a positive x. That's going to be a negative 2x squared. That's F. O stands for
First.
For F is for first. O stands for so negative x, say negative 10, this is 28. I feel like the only reason is on the do have an exit, by the way. So every time I wait, you're just causing more people to try to rush to get their exit ticket done before dismissal because I have to have that because it's for a grade. O stands for outside. Done. I stands for
Inner.
What's that term?
5x.
L stands for
Last.
and that's a positive 5 times a negative 10.
That's a
Negative 50.
Simple math.
That, there. Do I have terms that I can combine in the middle?
Yes.
Then that's a green flag that I did it right. Do you have any questions?
It seems pretty easy.
So the inners are the ones.
Say what?
The inners is the last one, the first one, and the first one. And the second one.
Yeah.
That's what I'm confused.
They're the two inside terms of the parentheses. Yeah. Okay. I am going to show you a careless mistake. See if you can figure out my mistake. What'd I do?
No.
Tell me.
You multiplied the first terms in both, and then you multiplied the outside terms in both, and that's not what you're supposed to do.
I multiplied. How many times did I multiply?
2.
How many letters are in FOIL?
4.
So this is not the correct answer. So do not make the same mistake as I did. So you got to be careful. Here's your exit. I'm going to give you a red slip. You only need to do 2. There are 3 there for you to choose from. You are going to write it on here and turn it into me, and you have plenty of time. So we're good.
Wait, can we solve it any way we want?
No. There's only one way to solve, Connor.